Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode. I think this is 72.
Welcome to Starbucks, how can I help you?
We're flying.
Can I get a motherfucking, have you seen that meme?
No.
That shit is so fucking funny.
I don't know.
Anyway, yo, it's your boy Sweet Sauce. We here again.
We're always here, every week.
I got my cool little... Do I owe you for this, by the way?
No. You don't. Show them, because that was actually the first thing on my thing.
Thanks, Dan.
It's upside down. It's upside down.
Fuck. Oh, yeah, because it's back. Okay.
Yeah. The keychains are in. If you want them, message us on all of our social medias or leave a comment in the YouTube channel. We'll kind of talk to that.
They're nice. They're really nice.
$5, and I'll ship them to you. It's $5 flat.
Yeah, no shipping built in.
Yep.
These are fucking spicy, I will say.
They are.
I didn't expect them to turn out this nice.
Yeah, they're sweet. I like them. Yeah, we can talk later, and I'll have a post on Instagram and all the social medias for them. All right, first things first. Last week I asked who had the most wins at Le Mans, and I don't think I specified that I was referring to the manufacturer, but it's Porsche. They have like 60 or something like that. I didn't actually look.
Yeah,
at
I don't think
I just know that Porsche did it.
The only thing I think you said was
most wins. I think.
Yeah, it's not to a specific like class.
Yeah, just like in total wins, and
but I don't
Porsche.
think you specified like.
I think Porsche also has the most overall wins too.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Cool.
Oh, I didn't bring down I wanted to bring down that sweatshirt. Well, we started testing the merch, and it looks pretty good. We figured out a way to make that happen. So,
yeah.
Hopefully, we have a few more things coming in to test before we run it.
I'm gonna see if I can give me a sweet sauce.
No. And then
squeep shirt maybe finally.
No squeep.
Come on, dude. We need the squeep.
Anyway, so just be on the lookout for that kind of stuff. You're the worst. There is a surprise coming for you guys.
Ooh.
Well, coming. I guess it's not really. It's more for me.
Okay.
But it's for everybody. Y'all see it. So it's new stuff, new things happening, things like that. You gotta look at it already. I'm not gonna. It's still not.
I don't remember
official.
what the fuck you're talking about, so we'll just roll with it.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I don't want you to give up any information.
Yeah, it's coming in the next week. You'll see. So I'm thinking probably Friday. Actually, no, that's how lapse. Shit, maybe Thursday. Thursday I'll probably post. Tomorrow. Well, it'd be today for you guys. No, that's the podcast day. What am I doing? I'm all over the place. All right.
We'll figure it out.
Do you have anything you want to say before we get into the racing news?
Do you want to do that first before we go into bullshit hour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know if you remember. I don't know if I even talked about it. But there's a guy who threw part of his go-kart at another go-karter while he was driving. Like they were on track racing,
and he took something off the...
and the guy hit him off the track or something like that. Or something happened where he was blaming the guy who was still racing for him being off and damaged and whatnot. So he took the piece that was broken off his car and threw it at him while he was going, 100 mile an hour or whatever he was going.
Yeah, we're not talking like go-kart like the shit we do, right? We're talking
like this is like
a legitimate...
This is like the step before you get into real race cars.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. These guys are somewhat professional.
Yeah.
He was banned by everybody was like FIA do something because this is
a little ridiculous.
He could have killed someone.
Yeah,
honestly, because you don't have any protection besides your helmet, and if your car hits that and you flip, like you could break your neck or something. There's so many different things that could have happened.
Yeah. From
him doing that. So they banned him for 15 years, which that'll put him kind of over the age of
being able to do it.
You can do it. There's still
you're not going anywhere from it though.
Right, and that's 15 years of you not being able to race professionally and actually get the practice that you'll need.
Right.
So, a lot of people are like, that's not enough time, and I could see it, like, that dude tried to hurt someone badly. Maybe he shouldn't be allowed to race professionally through the FIA.
Now, what does that do for, like, the smaller scale stuff? You could still do that shit, right?
Well, yeah, but, so he can't do that karting series anymore.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask, because I know, like, okay...
Because that's an FIA sanctioned
nerd moment.
Karting.
People that know what this is, I play Magic the Gathering, or did, and the pro tournaments, if you got hit in a pro tournament for like a cheating or some shit, then the company banned you across all the levels and all the formats.
Oh, so you can't even, like,
No,
recreationally
they were just
play.
no, because you have they call it a DCI number that's attached to you, and that holds like your record and shit. And they just banned the DCI number, so
wow.
you can't even go into like game stores and play. You could play with friends,
Like at home,
but you can't do a tournament.
Yeah.
So they just were like,
Yeah.
Boop.
So
There's a
basically,
few cases of that.
like, yes, that's pretty much it. Like, he can go to, like, what is that called now? It's not. It used to be RPM. I don't know what it's. I don't know what they changed it to. They just changed it. And
Oh, really? I
It
didn't know
actually,
that.
it's so when we went out for my birthday,
Yeah.
we couldn't pass or anything. Like, you can full on race now.
Oh,
So
thank
it's
fuck.
it's way, like when we went.
Maybe that
this,
one
this is
bitch
an-
won't fucking give me whiplash like she did. That was
We
bullshit.
went to for my birthday. What was it, like 2-3 years ago? We went
2.
to an indoor karting place, and they were just like, all you're doing is putting down hot laps. You're not racing." And that
Yeah,
was,
there was a dude.
like, you're taking away the fun.
Well, because they're electric, so there's a dude that's got a remote, and he's got like master access to all the cars.
Yeah.
And if you got near somebody, he would throttle you, and I kept getting throttled down.
Same.
Because I'm fucking
or they
trying to
like you would have someone in front of you that's going slow because they're not
Right.
They're not into racing.
Yeah.
And they're like, you have to pass them at a certain time. It's like, I can't
Yeah,
because
we
you're not
got-
letting me.
We got me and this dumbass, and then who else was there? That was like kind of legit.
Honestly, Trisha was pretty fast.
Yeah.
And it was like us four
Kristen
at the top.
didn't do bad.
She was
Did,
last.
did she? Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
she
she
was
did. I don't
last.
remember.
I think it was Kyle. Was it Kyle?
Oh yes, yes, yes,
Kyle,
yes.
It was like Trisha, Kyle, me, you.
yes.
But you and I were stuck behind Kristen.
Yeah, and there was this other.
Oh, and the girl
there was
who
another
like,
couple
just beating the crap out of us, like just hitting us.
Yeah, and I fucking got because I'm like trying to go, and I got like pumped down or something because like there's one half of it where you don't have to hit the brake at all, and you're going into turns kind of fast, and I think he must have thought I was losing it or something, and he throttled me down, and then this one fucking bitch behind me doesn't try to go around me, and she just fucking
Goes through
just,
you.
right, and I was like, I needed to call William Attar. I got fucking whiplash. I was like, God damn.
That's great.
Jesus.
Oh God, that's too funny.
Anyway,
but he can do stuff like that. He just can't win money or anything like that.
Right.
Do you know? So that's that. 15 years done. I don't know. Would you do it longer?
How old is he?
He's got to be our age or younger. I think he's younger, to be honest. I don't know the full story. I just know.
I probably would have permabanned him.
I feel like you kind of have to.
Yeah.
For throwing. But here's, I guess NASCAR is a different entity, and they love the drama and they love that kind of stuff because
It's televised.
How many times have we seen a guy throw a helmet or gloves at a driver?
Yeah.
But they're fully enclosed. They have a window net, so nothing can get into the car.
Right.
I don't know.
No, I would say
and they
given
do
the
get
risk.
fined. They do get fined for that. I don't know. But with that risk, yeah, I think you kind of have to.
I mean, let me put it this way. It's a good medium, maybe. So to satisfy
Right.
both, it's not like a couple years, but it's also not permanently.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a good like in between. I guess
Yeah.
they were thinking.
And
So
maybe there might even be other things like he has to attend certain classes or whatever, like courses for safety, like
Yeah.
safe driver course or whatever.
yeah.
All right, we'll move on. Do you know who Jennifer Jo Cobb is? Have you heard that name?
No.
All right, she is a NASCAR truck series, I believe. I think she's trucks, like a back marker, but she's been in it for like 15 years, something like that.
Oh shit.
And so she races a few Xfinity races here and there. I think she has money, and that's why she can race. I'm not entirely sure what's her story because
right.
she's a back marker, and I don't really pay attention to back markers.
Right.
So she applied to race at Talladega this weekend
Mm-hmm.
in the big cars, like the Cup Series.
The big boy car.
Yeah, because there's a lot of times where you have for like Daytona, Talladega, you have people from lower classes come up and race in it because they're either qualified or money or whatever.
You fill a space. Or
Yeah.
something.
Big because it's such a big track. You can have a bigger field, shit like that. So she applied for it. NASCAR denied it, and everybody's in uproar. Because you have people who are trying to go with the sexist thing, which
Oh.
it's
Yeah.
it's not because there's it's tough because like I think it was like 5-6 years ago they started changing the requirements for plate racing or the big track stuff because of how fast they are going and how dangerous it actually is. That you need to have a certain amount of practices in an Xfinity car. You have to have a certain amount of points, like finishing places and safe finishes.
Let me just shut down the sexist thing because come on. First of all, I'm not saying that maybe that hasn't happened in the past or still does.
Right.
Okay, and I'm
also we got to look at how inclusive NASCAR's been in the past year. They've been the most inclusive sport.
Yeah, and I'm all for getting, women in. Dude, fucking what's her name was like one of the
Danica.
Yeah, like that's one of the, you know what I mean? And like NHRA's got a bunch of it. Like, dude, go for it. I'm not sitting here like women are bad drivers.
Look at the Force family.
Nobody's fucking saying that women are bad drivers. Yeah. Okay, no. I would hope that we're past that at this point.
Yeah.
So if you're just doing it to grasp at straws, fine. But if you don't meet qualification,
and that's what NASCAR says,
or if other people are more qualified than you,
she did not meet the minimum requirements of safe finishes or like. So I think there was a stat that she had only finished on like 3 lead lap races in the past 15 years. Yeah, like she's been. They're
not gonna put you in a field of professionals if you're gonna fuck them over.
Right. We saw that happen when how we talked about the guy coming down to enter pit and almost killing everybody.
Yeah.
Like he was very much scolded because they don't want that shit to happen on a bigger track.
Yeah.
Faster.
Good luck getting him back in there if he puts an application through.
I mean, he did. He's in. He's racing.
Oh. Okay.
But that's also because he's finished lead laps. He's done other things.
Okay, so he's got enough for them to give him a
right. And they corrected his, like, he hasn't done it since, so he's kind of on the path of righteousness, if you will.
Okay. But still, it's one of those things where like you're dealing with something. Safety. It's all safety. It's not personal. Don't be offended. It's safety.
Right.
That's as far as I'm concerned. Safety trumps everything. So
especially after last year's Daytona.
If she's at a risk of wrecking somebody and hurting and or killing somebody because she hasn't had a lot of success in what she's doing, let alone put her in something that's a lot faster and more of an issue, then it's just you have to prove yourself.
Yeah, I don't think she has enough starts in the Xfinity Series, and I think that's probably the biggest one that she doesn't meet is
just saying you've done it for 15 years doesn't matter.
No, not at all.
And I think maybe that's what she was banking off of.
Yeah.
So just because you've been doing it a while doesn't mean anything, as far as I'm concerned. So that's my hot take on that one.
Yeah, no, I agree. We had 3 racing series this weekend: F1, NASCAR, and IndyCar. We'll start with IndyCar. IndyCar had its first race at Barber this past weekend, sorry. And we had a first-time winner, which is kind of cool. And he's freaking young, so that was neat. His name's something Powell. Palo. Yeah. I don't remember his first name. I feel bad. But he was freaking hauling ass, and he was saving tires like a boss-ass bitch. But do you remember at end of last season for Formula 1, the guy who was literally on fire?
Yeah.
He's racing IndyCar now, and he actually had a really good first race in IndyCar for a track that he's never been to. Like, he's still learning all the American tracks.
Right.
So Roman had a really good race. Jimmy Johnson raced.
Oh.
He did okay. Okay. Again, it's his first time in IndyCar. Well, it's not his first time but first race in an IndyCar.
Right.
First race in an open wheel, because obviously Roman raced F1, which is a little more intense.
Right.
A lot more money. So he has a little bit of practice with that. But Jimmy looked okay. He had a few flukes that he's still trying to work out.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be very successful here.
Is he doing the whole season?
I think he's doing most of it except for ovals. I don't think he's doing ovals.
Boy, he really just wants to get away from ovals, don't he?
Well, they're also going 50 miles an hour faster in the ovals in these cars.
Yeah, I mean...
And he's not fully enclosed. I don't think he's at a point in his life where I don't have to risk it, so I'm not going to.
Okay.
you know. I think he said he was interested in doing the 500 eventually, maybe, but as of right now, he's not. F1 was pretty intense.
He's in coasting mode.
Yes,
He's not
exactly.
in make a career out of it mode.
Yeah. We had Hamilton and Verstappen. Verstappen was kind of in a class of his own. He looked pretty good. Anytime there's a wet weather race, it's those two, especially Verstappen. He's really good in the rain. We had a couple tiffs between George Russell and Valtteri Bottas. They were fighting, I think, for 9th, and Valtteri was just making a racing move, and Russell took it a little too far, and they both wrecked.
Nice.
Russell obviously freaked out because he's young and blamed Valtteri, and the Mercedes team manager, who is also George Russell's. No, he's not. I thought he was George Russell's manager, but that's, I think, Ocon. I could be wrong on that. I don't know. He's like, that's not how you get into Mercedes. That's how you get into the Renault Cup, which is just like shitty cars.
Yeah, or shooting your mouth off.
Yeah. So you need to chill out and actually race.
Yeah, be an adult.
Yeah. And so obviously the next day after that statement was made, the next day George was like, I messed up. I made myself look bad, whatever. So there's a few moments of intense fighting, and this has been the best season I've watched in the 5 years I've watched of F1. It's only been 2 races, but like the most intense racing, I should say. Like they're actually close to each other for once.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And this kind of goes along with Eric's question. Eric asked it, besides the highlights, what happened? How was the race? And it was the highlights kind of showed it all, what happened, but for the most part, it was still an interesting race because strategy and crashes and stuff. So it was good. It was a good race, and you should watch the season because it's fun. It's been a fun one so far, and it's a close battle for the championship fight. And then in NASCAR, the only thing I really have to say is Richmond sucks. I hate Richmond. It's boring. Nothing really happens.
I love it.
You have no idea what the fuck it is.
No, I love it.
Okay.
Why do I love it?
Why?
You gotta tell the people.
I don't know why you love it.
You gotta tell the people why.
Oh, because you fucking won fantasy.
Woo!
You won this week in
Fuck
fantasy.
you!
Willie B had a good run.
Willie B! Yes.
Blaney sucks there, so that's, I think, why I hate it.
Fuck yeah.
It was.
They put it in
I
the
should
group
say
chat.
it
Who
was
did Kluge? Did Kluge
Kluge,
say that? And
yeah.
I was like, wait, what? And
It wasn't that bad of a race. There was a few points where the last few laps were pretty intense because Bowman was trying to pass, and Bowman made the pass and won the race, which was a cool memento. Memento? I don't think that's the correct word I was looking for. But in the summer, one of their crewmen died.
Oh.
And so it was a weight off their shoulder. Like they finally got a win for him. Rowdy. I think he was a tire changer, but I'm not entirely sure.
Memento, right?
Right? I don't know.
I think
It's
so.
cool. It was a way to honor Rowdy.
Yeah.
And he was emotional.
At least if that wasn't right, I made myself look dumb with you. So.
Yeah. Right on. So I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of short tracks, except for like Bristol, because Bristol they're always beating and banging. But I guess Richmond they were too. It's just not.
I'm not gonna make that joke.
Shut up. It's just not as.
My man likes beating and banging. I couldn't help it.
It's not as interesting to me as like mile and a halfs when they're like close fighting, or Talladega, because there's anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no set winner for Talladega ever, because or Daytona, because it's always just so chaotic and huge wrecks. But we'll see. Whatever. I have like 3 more racing things, and then I have some sports stuff, and then we'll go into.
This is the first time we've ever had.
Yeah, a lot of racing stuff happened this week.
Yeah.
Do you know who Jimmy Broadbent is, by any chance?
I've heard of him.
Okay, so he's a streamer for like iRacing, sim racing stuff. Well, he is.
Wasn't that the dude that we were on? No.
The dude that we were on?
Yeah, didn't our car show up on?
No, that was Lando.
Okay, yeah.
Lando Norris, our car showed up with his stream. Jimmy is making a jump into like real racing too.
Oh.
Which is cool for the sim world, because that's just showing that our skills, well, not
translate,
definitely not mine, translate into real life or they can translate. Like it helps
It's not
us.
a smooth translate.
Right. It can help us be coachable into a racing. Like we've seen.
You could be picked up and taught.
Right. There's like
better.
the world's fastest gamer is a series. I don't know if they do it anymore, but where they pulled whoever they pull like 10 to 15 drivers from Sim Series stuff, put you in a real car, and if you're the fastest, you get to drive in a real race and then make a name for yourself and stuff.
Right.
So Jimmy, because of his fame and how the quality of driver that he is starting to race in a series in England, and he took his first drive of the car. I think maybe it wasn't the first drive, but he's testing the car this past few weeks, and then the race is I think in 2 weeks, which is kind of cool. It's cool, and I think it's huge for sim racing, the sim racing world, because that's just showing you that it's feasible for us to go and actually become drivers.
Yeah.
And do the thing we love to do. So that's pretty sweet. Well, I have 2 things left, and it's GM. GM, I think I don't remember if it was 31 days, but I think they have a limit now of to decide what they're doing for sports cars. Because the GTLM class is leaving, done after this year, which is where the Corvette is.
Oh, to figure out where they're putting their shit.
Right. So
okay.
they're still working on the ability to make it a GT3 car. So they're trying to work it to bring it down a class, but they're also in talks of becoming part of the LMDH, like the hypercar stuff.
Oh.
Because they have Cadillac involved already.
True.
Like they already have Cadillac in the DPI program, so they kind of want to keep with that program because it's doing very well. So they have a time limit now. It's like from the announcement, they only have like a year and a half or whatever to decide if they're going to join in or not. So they're coming up to where we'll find out for sure in a month or two that we should know GM's plans for the future of racing. They might not be in it. They might just stick with NASCAR and GT3. We don't know.
For now,
right? They have obviously each year. Is
they might just bail to give them time to
assess.
I don't know though. They put a lot of time into that vet.
They did, and they're
pissed.
I
I would be very surprised if they couldn't find a way to try to get somebody to use it.
Right. They, Pratt Miller has said they're willing to still run the car. They're going to run, I think, 4 races in WEC coming up this year, and I think a few of next year, because obviously they want to run Le Mans.
Yeah.
But the future is uncertain because there's like 5 different years of rule changes coming up for each class.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of things happening. And the last thing before we get into questions and other sports is the trivia question, and that is, what was the closest finish in NASCAR history in seconds? Like, how close was it? And it's a lot closer than I thought it was.
Oh.
It's pretty wild. All right, let's get into questions before I go crazy. No. I was going to say, do you want to... Oh, wait, I already answered that question. Shit, I'm sorry.
Do I want to what?
Do you have... Okay, all right. Sorry, we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
We have one question, and is how much does it suck to be Denny Hamlin with less than 10 laps to go in races nowadays? So this is like the 3rd race this year that he's like led the entire race and then loses it in the last 10 laps of the race. And it sucks. Like, that sucks. that's got to be a terrible feeling, but he's leading the points, so who cares?
I picked him a few times, and that shit happened, so...
Yeah, he's very consistent, but he's a consistent second place always. He's always been he's never had a championship.
Right.
He's always a consistent, I'm always going to be there, but not there.
Right.
Yeah, so it sucks a lot. So I would be pissed.
That's like the
not
Drew
being
Brees
able to finish races. Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Drew Brees is always there, always in discussion with like Peyton and Tom.
Yeah.
But he's never above them.
Yeah. Which it makes you like, you want him to be like, you know what? Yeah, you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway.
All right. So you grew up playing soccer.
I did.
I'm learning the ins and outs of soccer. I'm trying to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to broadened my horizons of
I
all the
refed it
sports.
too. Quite fun.
Right. I've been learning a little bit about basketball this year too. Okay, but
Fuck LeBron. All right.
go Trey Diggs. Go Trey Diggs. The Super League. Have you heard anything about it?
Vaguely.
Do you know what the Premier League is?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So like the top 6 teams of the Premier League are like, fuck you guys for not always putting us in the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go make our own thing with the top 3 of every other thing in the
shit.
world. So you have like 15 of the best soccer teams in the world are like, fuck our leagues. We're gonna make our own league, and now we'll always be the best in the world. However, you have every like the FIFA and I don't even know what I think is EFL or EPL or something like that.
The organizations.
Every other organization is like, you do that, you'll never be able to play in our stuff.
Yeah.
The Premier League's gonna be like, we'll never play you.
Yeah.
You'll never be on our tables, whatever. FIFA's like, none of your players will be allowed to play in the World Cup, and we're gonna fine the fuck out of you
Yeah.
and your players. So now you have players who are like, I don't want to be a part of this. We will not play for that. We will not stand for that.
Don't be a pussy. Go for it.
It's not good for the sport.
No, it's not. But
because when in the Champions, you have to be the best 3 of each league.
yeah.
And
Well,
then-
maybe it is though, because you see the top fucking teams every year.
No,
It's the
but you
same
don't,
shit.
because there's always a chance of like this. Like we had I think it was like 3 years ago. Falcon and Kluge can correct me.
See, I don't follow it enough to know actually.
Where
so.
we had it was like 1 in 5,000 odds for a team to win the league, and they'd won the league and went to Champions League,
Oh, okay.
and then they sucked or something like that. You know,
Okay.
it's there's more of a chance of
So then why the crybaby move?
money.
But if you're making your own league, how the fuck are you going to get money for that?
They've been backed. JP Morgan's like, I'll back it with
How sustainable
$4
is
billion
that?
or whatever amount of it. It'll be sustainable when your favorite teams are playing in that league only.
And then they're pulling all the views?
Yeah, because all of the big names are on those teams.
Huh.
So you have a few teams that
It's
are
a ballsy move.
right. You have a few teams that are
If
like,
it works, it'll work.
I'm
but
out.
it's-
See ya. Because their players are like, we're not going to play for you if you keep doing this.
Yeah.
See ya. And then you have other teams are like, nah, full board, let's go, full throttle, we're going for it. It's wild.
It's insane, actually.
It's wild. And then you have other teams that are like, fuck you guys for doing that. We're going to re-sign our players for long contracts so they will never sign with you. See you later. And that's what PSG did, which is like one of the top boys.
That's interesting, actually.
It's wild. It's wild because it's changing sports.
I kind of like it because somebody's standing up to them and being like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Whether it needs to happen or not
but
is irrelevant.
And it's bringing like all of the organizations together
yeah.
to fight one, which is always kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, it's a little drama.
Yeah. And then the only other thing I have is Deshaun Watson. His legal team has said he's denied all claims. Like we didn't know he was like, this is kind of crazy, whatever, I wouldn't do this, but now it's like official that they know like 3 of them, or they say they know 3 of them are false claims for sure. They don't really know the other people to say like,
Yeah.
but
But he doubled down.
Yeah, he was like, I didn't do this shit.
Okay. How many's against him? There's a lot against
I
him.
think there was like 22. Again, I'm going with, you want to believe the victim if it's true, right?
I was watching, it might have even been Dave Portnoy's podcast, where one of the TikTok kids, and in fact, it might have even been Bryce Hall, which I fucking can't stand him because he's an arrogant little fucker. But he did say, somebody said, when you're in the spotlight, you're guilty until proven innocent, which that's what I don't like.
It's always been that way too.
That's what I don't like. Okay, now
Just a claim, you're done.
I am not. I don't want anybody to think that I think he did or didn't do it. That's not my point at all. My point is, somebody just saying that he did, good luck with his career after this point.
Right.
Right? Like, even if first of all, he's got to go through all the bullshit to clear his name completely before he even plays now.
Yeah. So Nike, I think it was Nike, was already like, we're gonna pause.
Yeah.
We're pausing our relationship till things clear out.
Which is like, it's one
That's
of those things
huge
where like,
deal for
yeah,
people.
that's his life,
Yeah.
and it's like,
that's how Gronk paid for everything. Like, he didn't use his.
it's like if he did do it, fucking nail him to the cross,
Right.
and I'm all for that. And that's a lot of people against him. Okay,
For none of them to be true.
right.
It's kind of hard.
That's a tough one. And in terms of my opinion on what is going on with him, even if, but only one of them has to be true. That's
for
the
it
thing.
to be right.
Right.
Scummy.
So you now you're dealing with statistics, and statistically speaking, his odds don't look that great.
Right.
So, but
I'm also we also got
but
to
you
put
need
into
to
perspective,
you need to prove the shit first, though. That's my
which
biggest.
is extremely tough to do.
True.
But it's also the timing of this is kind of ridiculous because he's already said he wants out of Houston because they didn't listen to him and they didn't respect his wishes. So he's like, I'm leaving. I'll sit out a year if I have to. And they're like, no, you won't. Watch this. There's a lot of rumors that they started this. Houston management
Yeah.
started because it wasn't.
I wouldn't be
until-
surprised.
It wasn't until he said I'm out did any of these come out. It wasn't when he got his big contract,
Well, it makes you wonder.
which would make more sense. Like
now
when,
you start getting onto fucking InfoWars,
right,
like now you start digging into the, did the organization know about it?
and now
keep
that,
it on the low, and now
Right.
that he's bailing, they're like,
Exactly.
yeah, fuck you, and then
which is what a lot of colleges do.
yeah,
Um,
because that like you said, that's already known to happen. People fucking lift up the rug. Not that it's right, but that's what
like
happens.
the Michigan State
Yeah.
gymnastics thing.
Yeah, so it
Well,
makes
it
you
was
wonder.
Michigan State, right?
Oh,
Or it was
the creepy gymnastics.
it was
the
or was it the
gymnastics
USA team with the Michigan State coach?
I don't remember.
I don't either. I think it
The
was
pervy dude, though, you're talking.
yeah.
Yeah.
That I think it was D'Antonio knew. The
Yeah.
basketball coach. He knew about it, but it was like, ugh.
Yeah.
I'm hands off.
It's a very fine line that you and I get into because I don't want anybody to be like, oh, he thinks he didn't do it. That's not it at all.
No, right.
I'm just saying it's tough for people.
There's so many variables in this situation that are making it
Right.
difficult.
And this kind of dives into like the cancel culture and shit just in general, because I know the whole James Charles things I just saw. YouTube cut him. They demonetized his whole channel.
Well,
Which
he's a
is-
pedophile.
Right, but
Admittedly.
Admittedly.
Right.
right, but my point is
They'll
that is
re-monetize him though once he comes back.
that
Guarantee.
that right there. Okay, boom, you got him. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that anybody that goes out and
He got
like
himself, but
true,
No,
but he
but
also
yes.
there was enough pressure on him
he realized he was
and
fucked.
he broke.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my thing is like, and this is muddy water, just in general, to even talk about.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's just tough when, again, I realize you're in the spotlight, but people are only human. So you can't even say like, oh, he's this and this and this. Why is he doing that? He's only human. Right? Like, he's only human. Okay? I mean, he's not absolved of everything just because he's celebrity.
No,
He's
right.
going to make mistakes, okay? And people need to call him out on the mistakes. But that
Which
doesn't
they've
mean
done. But right.
that doesn't mean that you go and now somebody's career is ruined without there ever even being, like, without you ever even resolving what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody, even if you resolve what's happened with him, and he comes out fine, the fact that this even lingered, who the fuck's gonna want to sign him?
Yeah.
Because some GM somewhere is gonna be like,
That's a horrible look for us.
yeah, they're gonna be like, the public doesn't like him, so see ya.
Yeah.
It's not fair to him if he's innocent. If he's innocent,
Right. Again, which we don't know.
So
and we,
it's just
we
tough
most
with-
likely won't know because
those
a lot
cases
of
are so hard.
a lot of the allegations are from multiple years ago or a year, over
yeah,
not recent, which are even harder to prove.
right.
Either way, whether it's a innocent or not.
I'm saying in terms of his case in particular, with the number against him,
Kind of hard not to be.
I find it very, very unlikely.
I'm on the fence because of how fishy the timing is.
Right, and I agree with you there. I guess I would hope that that isn't the case.
And we saw this with, I think, Spacey, where one guy came out and had proof. Like the kid came out and was like, I have text messages saying, like, from him and stuff like that. And everyone's like, all right, that's inspiring. And that's what happened with, like, the gymnastics, like, girls.
Yeah, and that's just like the psychology of the poor people that have been affected by this, is they feel like they can't say anything. And then it's you. So I hate the people that use the argument like, oh, the minute one person says something, everybody says something that seems kind of sus. And it's like, well,
yes and no. Right.
It is yes and no. There definitely are instances where people are like, ooh, I just don't like this person. I just don't like this person. Yeah. Let me try to bury him. But then there's the and those are the people that I really fucking hate, because those kind of scumbags get the public to say like, oh, is that really true? And then the people that it actually happened to are in the background like,
are you fucking kidding me? He did this.
Yeah, he did this to me. He ruined my life. I got all this psychological damage from this bullshit, and now people think that I'm fucking faking it because I don't like him. Mm-hmm. So now
we saw this happen with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Yeah.
Where she accused him of stuff that he never did, and then now his career's ruined because she falsely claimed it, and it's proven to be falsely claimed. Right.
So that's interesting.
Sean hates her. We had a very long discussion.
Really?
He was like, "Oh, you don't," because he was bitching about. I think he said the Justice League was good, but not. I mean, it was better than the first one, but not as much as we liked it. Whatever. Mm-hmm. And he goes, it still had her in it. I was like, well, yeah, it's too expensive to recast and reshoot stuff.
That didn't look at all like her. Was it her?
Yeah, it was her.
Oh, shit.
But it was from 3 years ago.
Oh, right.
Not Aquaman time.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, I know. I just fucking hate her because what she did. And I was like, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
But this was also produced and shot and edited prior to the trial.
Yeah, and they're not going to make a...
No.
They're not going to put her in it again, but...
No. Well, they might.
Well,
who knows?
Anyway.
We'll see.
So...
but yeah, so it's kind of crazy. We're in limbo right now while they're going through all the proceedings and things.
I don't see him walking out of this one, unfortunately.
No. But the NFL likes to employ criminals, so...
Yep, that's true.
Except for Ray Rice, he's the only one that wasn't. You could throw your kid into a wall and break their arm. Nah, you're fine. You could, or you could do the most minuscule thing. Well, from the way that it was told, where Adrian spanked his kid.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could see it being a little harder than a spank.
Yeah.
But you also have Ray Lewis was accused of murder.
Uh-huh.
Nah, you're fine. You had Hernandez, which was a murderer.
Yeah.
Nah, he's fine.
Yeah.
There's
and I'm and even him, like, everybody's like, oh, he had CT, and it's like, I'm a brain dude, and yes, he had CT, and yes, it was the worst case noted in medical history. But I will tell you,
this is very different from what you first said on this podcast a year ago.
No. Hold on.
You're like, I kind of understand why he did it.
No, I understand that there's... So, okay, quick bio lesson. Your cerebrum, okay, your cerebellar hemispheres, they control essentially your ability...
Where is that on your brain? Is that here or is that...
It's the biggest part.
Right. Where you get hit the most.
They essentially control your actions in the sense that they give you decision making. It gives you ability to control personality. So there's been a lot of research suggesting that the consistent blows to the head start affecting decision making.
Right.
So I will say
to do so because we just had the guy in Charleston do that.
Right. So I will say, and I will defend myself on a small level by saying, yes, the disease affected him, but I've always said from the beginning, it didn't. People that say it made him do it, no.
No, there's always a choice.
You
firm believer.
You might have not been able to make that choice because of the condition that you had, or you might not have been able to differentiate between good and bad in that particular instance because of the damage to your brain. But the fact that you even had that deep rooted problem,
Right, like where
that's
you can't,
where the
you
issue
can't,
lies.
like right.
That's where the issue lies. So if you have that deep rooted issue and your brain normally can suppress it, so you can just function in society and not be a murderer, then fine. But if you lose that ability to suppress it, which he did because of the CTE he had, now all of a sudden he can't control his urges. So, but the fact that he's got those urges makes him a fucked up person.
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
that's how I'll explain that one.
I get you.
So, anyway,
It's like poking the bear.
yeah. This is a deep fucking episode today.
Yeah, dude. I like it. This is what we need every week. Just saying. World okay as boss.
You don't like stupid?
No, I don't. I don't.
I love stupid.
Like,
love
I
being
do
stupid.
once in a while because it's fun and we laugh a lot. Like on some of them that we've gone in like an hour and a half. Those are fun because it's a huge stress relief. But a lot of times I'm like, who wants to see us do this?
Well, I think we were on the 2-week mark for the Godzilla movie, but I don't know if we have enough time.
I don't know because you have 10 minutes.
Yeah, so we'll have to hit that next week.
Yeah, I don't really have a movie. I've been watching White Collar, like I said, and I'm about to finish it, and it's still, I think, my favorite series of all time.
I wanted to go on a bitch fest about the movies that I watched. I watched 2.
I don't know. Have I seen them?
Knock Knock with Keanu Reeves. It's a Netflix movie.
No. Is it funny or is it?
It's like a horror thriller, kind of almost.
See, I've never seen a bad Keanu Reeves movie.
Not great.
But I also haven't seen Ted and whatever that movie is.
Yeah, and then
what is that movie called? Where they're
something in Ted, I think.
They're always high.
Yeah.
I have no interest in that.
And then the other one I watched was, oh fuck, what was it called?
Who's in it? Anybody?
Bruce Willis. Oh fuck off.
Is it a newer one?
Acts of Violence.
Okay. Yep.
Did you see that?
Yeah. Well, I saw part of it and I was like, nah, I'm out.
Okay.
It's okay.
I'm gonna start with that one. Actually, no. I'm gonna start with Knock Knock. Knock Knock is these two girls. It's some other girl and Anna de Armas.
Isn't that his wife?
Is it? I don't think so. She was dating somebody recently. I thought.
Yeah. You're.
Anyway,
keep going.
So they do this movie, and his family leaves, and he loves his family. But they start the movie off with his wife saying, "No, we can't fuck." So he's horny. My man, horny.
Oh, of course.
So pretty much what ends up happening, to keep it short, is
Is it Armitage?
No, Anna de Armas. De Armas. I don't know.
Oh, yep. I got her.
So her and this other girl, you find out later that they've been spying on him, and they do this thing where they go to dudes' houses like family men and get him to cheat on their wife.
Oh.
But they're like psychotic. So it's more than just like they were outside in the rain and they're like, "Oh, can we get a towel?"
Together.
And he like lets them in and gives him the phone and calls him an Uber or whatever,
Yeah.
and then ends up getting him to bone, but then uses it to like blackmail him. But then that comes as the movie goes on, it makes them look like they're almost like they killed somebody.
Okay.
Like somebody died. So like it makes them look like they're like psychos and they're going to kill this dude.
Yeah.
And then the movie ends and it's just like, no, they didn't. They just posted the video of him fucking the girls on Facebook and then dipped. And it was just very unsatisfying. And that's why that movie and this other movie was also very unsatisfying. You ever get movies that so much bad shit happens, it's just unsatisfying?
Yeah.
There's never a redemption.
That's how I felt with that Liam Hemsworth movie, the hotel. That's like, shit, what is that movie called?
Oh, I know what you mean.
The one that I complained about. It was like one of the worst movies I've seen, too. It's like on my list of least favorite movies.
So this one pissed me off because, first of all, Knock Knock, 4 out of 10.
Okay.
What was yours, real quick? Oh, you didn't. You said
I
you didn't.
didn't, or not Liam Neeson. It's Chris
John Kreese.
Hemsworth. Liam Hemsworth.
Anyway, so then you didn't really.
The first little bit that I saw, I was probably like a 4. Yeah, it was just kind of.
Of the one I'm about to.
Sorry.
That one I would give. That one I would give a 5, and the reason why I give it a 5 is because it could have been so good. The concept is good. Military family, two brothers, military, one not. There's a girl that was adopted by the father.
Bad Times at El Royale, sorry.
Almost adopted by the father.
Okay.
That ends up falling in love with the younger brother. The younger brother has no military training, and that's like where the story hinges off of. So she goes out for a bachelor party. She gets kidnapped by bachelorette party. She gets kidnapped by some sex traffickers. Okay.
So it's the same movie.
Yeah, it's the same
movie.
shell, right? Bruce Willis is a cop who's keeping track of these, like this, organization or whatever. And then the younger brother goes back to the just fucking deranged older brother who is fucked up from being in the military.
Okay.
And then the middle brother, who's also in the military, has a wife and is fine. He's not really whatever. So they're like, oh, we're going to go get this guy. So they set out on their own because the cops weren't helping them to figure it out. And Bruce Willis kind of gets wind of this, and he's like, well, fuck him, let him go. But then so that up to that point, that's good. But then you get to the point where the guy running the sex trafficking thing finds out somehow who the middle brother's wife is, kills her. And you felt like this was unnecessary. This didn't need to happen to this dude.
Yeah.
And then he ends up dying too. The
Bruce?
brother does.
Oh, okay.
So now they're down 2 main characters. And the ending was they found out that they were transporting the girls. He got the girl. The leader ran away. And they got no issue with police from it. The brothers didn't.
So this is literally Taken, but American.
Yeah. And they were just like... And then Bruce Willis retired and found the leader and killed him.
Definitely. This is Taken.
Yeah. So...
And Taken did it so much better. Taken 1.
And I'm just like... But at the end of the movie, I just felt like... But this dude and his wife died.
And nothing happened.
And nothing... Like, the way they killed the bad guys wasn't epic enough. It didn't make me feel...
There's no suffering.
Yeah, it didn't make me feel like, yeah, fuck you. You get what you deserve. Like, it didn't... And I hate that. I hate that. It bothers me. And then the other thing I wanted to bitch about, is not movie related, was fucking Jake Paul. The Jake Paul fight.
All right. Ben Askren is fat. Why is he
Did you
fighting?
see that picture of him? Somebody who called him a bag of milk.
Josh did it. But there was... Like, he was leaving the... He's
got this
the
picture
arena
where he's like doing and his fucking his
panhandle.
guts hanging out. I'm like, what the fuck?
Or love handles. He did a.
I love him. I would go in a ring for a minute, get knocked the fuck out to get a milli.
No, absolutely. But like, don't lie to everybody and say that you've been training for this fight to kick his ass, and then just like dive. Like, you took one punch and then I've seen
if that's him training, no.
I've seen him in a UFC fight take pounds and pound to the face, and he gets up and beats the shit out of the guy.
That's why there's rumors now that
he took a dive.
Yeah, he didn't care.
And he walks out of the arena smiling. You don't walk out of the arena smiling if you lost.
He went on and said
McGregor.
That he didn't.
McGregor comes out of he's just like, fuck.
He comes out and ESPN interviewed him, and he says that he didn't throw.
But he's laughing on a podcast with Portnoy.
But he didn't. So he didn't throw, but he also might have not have tried. So
no, right. He took it as a joke.
Yeah, just because you didn't throw.
He didn't take it as a joke.
Yeah, fuck that. And I hate Jake Paul. I hate him. Okay, I think he's a little fucker. But I'm also at the point where, like, all right, look, bitch, if you're gonna do this and you want to be a boxer, then somebody else said it. Somebody else said it too. I think that one of the announcers was like, you got to stop doing this. Like, we have to stop letting him pick who he gets to fight.
Yeah. Then
they're not qualified boxers, because it's clear that he's getting legitimate boxing training.
Right.
He's getting up against a legitimate boxer.
Everyone he's fought that he's beat has either been like Nate Robinson is a 4'2" basketball player who's never boxed in life.
Yeah.
You have everybody else that he's fought has been amateur, and then you have Ben Askren, who's a UFC fighter. He's a grappler. He's not a freaking boxer.
And of all people, he was a wrestler. Like, even when McGregor boxed, when McGregor does UFC, he doesn't really. He's bad on the ground.
No, there's a reason that McGregor tries to win the fight in the first minute.
Yeah, because he's not good.
He's not long-term fighter.
Right. So, yeah, I don't. if he's gonna keep doing this, okay. You fought the UFC guy. You beat the UFC guy. Okay, you're a legitimate boxer. Woo. Fight a boxer.
You have to fight a boxer.
Fight a fucking boxer. If he fights another non-boxer, I'm gonna be like, this is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. The only other non-boxer that I'm gonna let him there's a few. He called out Nate Diaz. I don't like the Diaz brothers. The Diaz brothers are fucking insane. They're clinically insane.
Yeah. And
They would murder him.
They can take punches.
They would murder him.
Yeah.
Like Nate Diaz, I don't like him, but he's dumb. He's a fucking maniac.
Because I didn't do enough research into Ben Askren, I look like an absolute moron. Because I was like, Ben Askren will kick his ass. Because he should have.
I said it too, but technically because I
also thought that Ben Askren was training for the fight, and it was very clear that
are UFC fighters better than pro UFC fighters better than pro boxers? I'm not going to make that argument because they're two separate sports. Is a pro UFC fighter
the top of each class fight each other, and it was the best boxing fight in history.
Right, and so am I going to say that a trained UFC fighter, professional UFC fighter, should be better than and Jake Paul's not a professional. He's not a professional boxer. If he was a professional boxer, he'd make a run at the bell, and he's not gonna.
No.
So he's not a professional boxer as far as I'm concerned.
Also, the broadcast was god awful.
Yeah,
I saw highlights of it. I didn't watch it because I don't care.
So if he's not going to, so should a professional UFC fighter beat a non-professional boxer that has professional training? I think so. I would have thought so.
Yeah.
Maybe if he gave a fuck, possibly.
Yeah.
But I just don't think he gave a shit.
No,
if you put that in a different
arm
scenario,
muscles were gone. Like this dude looked like a dad.
He coaches wrestling at high school.
Right. That's all he's been doing.
And he's going to go back to that with $1 million in his pocket. Right. So who's really the idiot? I don't know. I
mean, neither of them. They're both making a lot of money doing this, but
But I'm also at the point now where we need to. The gimmick's over. Gimmick's over.
We need to fight.
If he's gonna fucking shoot his mouth off like he is, somebody's got to shut him the fuck up. So get him somebody, And like I said, the only if McGregor ever steps in a ring with him, I'll get okay. McGregor went toe to toe with the best pound for pound boxer in the world,
and 6 out of the 10 rounds?
Yeah,
6 out of the 10 rounds, McGregor won.
So it
was the last 4 rounds that he looked awful.
Don't sit there and say that McGregor's not a boxer. He's not going to. As far as I'm concerned, McGregor, if he fought who he fought, he'll be fine.
He's the closest thing to a boxer besides a boxer.
Yeah,
obviously Anthony Joshua is like one of the heaviest hitters in the world. Like I think he's one of the heavyweight guys. But I know he just lost, but they have like a trilogy going on. So there's always, when you make a trilogy, you have to lose once.
Right.
So it'd be cool to see him box, but I mean the weight difference is you can't.
Yeah.
I
know Dylan Dennis has been shooting his mouth off.
Did you watch the episode from I think it was yesterday?
No, I haven't.
So they talk about they have Lana Rhoades on it.
Of course.
And Lana posts a video with Dylan because she apparently didn't know who he was.
Is she not with Mike? What's his fuck anymore?
Mayak or whatever. But like Dylan's Jake came to his house, threw water balloons and eggs and shit at him. So now Dylan's like, "Fight me, dude. Let's fucking fight." I'd love to see that fight. That'd be a cool fight because Dylan is like. He'll actually try.
And, because Dennis doesn't like this dude. Every post I've seen on SportsCenter, ESPN, Dennis has commented.
Yes.
And he's like, do it. And he won't fucking do it. He won't do it. I don't know if it's because he wanted to get other fights out of the way first or if he just doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But, like...
No, I don't think Dennis, he wants to do it.
Dylan Dennis wants to take his head off.
Yeah.
And that... So him, McGregor, and Diaz were the 3 UFC fighters that he's called out.
I'd love to see him fight the is it Holmes or even like Cyborg?
Oh,
the girl UFC fighters.
Christ.
Cause honestly, you see these girls get same with soccer. Like we see these girls, they play harder, they fight harder. Because they have that bitchiness to them.
Dana
White
said that Amanda Nunes would beat the fuck out of Jake Paul.
Oh yeah,
he said she would. And not that I believe everything Dana White says because he's a character, but Amanda Nunes she's
a monster.
She's scary.
Yeah,
she's scary. She would fuck somebody up.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be hilarious to watch.
they would never do it because it'd be like, ooh, boy
No,
hitting girl.
You
know?
you can't.
So they would never do that. But I somebody just needs to go in there and clap his ass cheeks. That's all. That's all I want to say about that.
This is probably my favorite podcast we've ever done.
This is a good episode.
I liked it. I'll try and come prepared like that again. I know I sometimes I do it, but I don't have this much normally.
Yeah.
All right, the last thing I have to say, and then I'll get you out of here because you do have to leave, is Kevin Harvick's kid is racing in tonight's event with the NASCAR pros, which is kind of cool.
Oh.
He's a racer. I think he's like 6. So he's going to compete against 40-year-olds, which is hilarious, and I hope he wins because that'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
But make sure you go follow us on all of our social medias, Twitch, YouTube, all that stuff. Thank you for watching. You guys are the best. Thank you, Team Ultra. You guys are awesome. I know I don't really talk about them much because they're not on the car, but they do sponsor the team. Well,
they're part of it.
They sponsor me.
Not allowed to put it on the car, but whatever.
Right. Thank you, GoPro. Thank you, Pavilion Machine Tool. Thank you, Big Party Sound.
Firebeats.
Thank you, OGO and Falcon. Thank you. Falcon and I have rekindled our love. So thank you all, and we'll see you next week. Bye.